Welcome to Common Sense Rhode Island. This is a program where we try to make sense out of the policies that affect your life and come up with common sense solutions. I'm Representative Patricia Morgan, and we have with us today Representative Blake Filippi from District, I don't know what you're
36.
District 36, which is Block Island, Narragansett,
no.
Charlestown. It's all like all
Four
bunches.
towns,
Okay.
excluding Narragansett. It's all of Block Island and Charlestown and portions of South Kingstown and Westerly.
Okay.
The most beautiful area of the state.
It's a pretty area
It is,
down
the whole
there.
South Shore of South
And you
County.
represent it very, very well.
Thank you.
I'm really thrilled that you joined our caucus this year and helped us. You're a good advocate for the people in your district and for the state.
I'm proud to be there, Patricia.
So today we're going to talk a little bit about the budget. So the session is over. This is kind of a session recap. But something we just went through was the budget was passed last week. And there were some good things in this budget that we could support. What did you think of some of these good things? So we had unemployment insurance that was decreased, that the premium was decreased for our businesses, a good thing for them because it allows them to have $30 million more in their pockets to help them be stronger fiscally. We had a little bit of beach fees. That's important in your neck of the woods.
It is beach fees that the ruling class raised a few years ago. They dropped.
Yeah, so they really raised them last year so they could decrease them this year and act like they were giving us a big present,
Exactly.
right? But it's popular with people.
It should be. I think the fees were too high before.
They were really too high for families trying to go down there and,
We're the
just have a
ocean
day
state.
off.
We're the ocean state. Families should be able to go to the beach and not get raked over the coals.
Yeah. Not to pay for waste, at any rate, which seems to be what most of the revenue goes for. There was also some retirement, the income tax exemption for retirees we added a provision. So right now it's for singles, $80,000, up to an adjusted gross income of $80,000. For a couple, an adjusted gross income of $100,000. It allows them to exclude the first $15,000 of their retirement income from taxes. So this would be any kind of pension, so state pension, municipal pension, federal pension, veterans pension, but also 401k income, rollover IRA income. So that's a nice thing for retirees, but it's
and it was a Republican idea for the past 5 years.
Oh, at least.
To have, I mean, the
I've been
Social
putting in the
Security.
bill for a long
You've
time.
been putting in the bill for 5 or 6 years, and then last year, the ruling party caught on and decided it was a great idea and pushed it through with much fanfare.
Well, so the Social
So
Security.
thank you for your leadership on that.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's Republican thought,
It
right?
is
It is from our
Republican thought.
caucus. And it shows what we would do if we were in power.
But it also shows what we can do now by advancing smart policies the Democrats eventually realize they are, and pick them
Yeah.
up and run with them and say that they're their ideas.
They do, when they're really popular, like the Social Security income tax exemption and now this retirement income tax exemption. They were just too enticing for the Democrats to ignore once it was given to them, but they would never have thought of them themselves. They are constantly thinking of new ways to get revenue,
Sure.
like a toll,
Not
right?
only would they
Like
not
a
have,
fee.
not only would they not have thought of it themselves, but if the idea hadn't been pushed out there, then the people would never have demanded it, and if the people never demanded it, they would not have, on their own,
They wouldn't
sua
have reacted.
sponte, done it because it's the right policy. They respond to constituents' demands because they're politicians,
Well, and
not really statesmen.
not because they're actually thinking of how to make our state better for average folks to live in.
It was a power play.
Right, but I'm happy they did it.
Me too.
I
Me
am.
too. Good for them for catching on to the right idea. 5 years too late.
It's too late. Yeah, we could have had this relief a long time ago, and maybe our state would be in a better spot.
Agreed. We need to keep our seniors here.
Well, because I honestly always believe, too, that when people have more money in their pocket, it helps our economy. It's actually called the velocity of money. So when we spend it in stores and restaurants, then the stores and restaurants use it for employees, for wages and to buy things, and you have a velocity of money that actually increases economic activity.
Well, there's some on the other side who believe that they get more velocity, we get more velocity out of money when government spends it.
It's not true.
And that is a total fallacy.
Because then with all the spending our government is doing, and there was a lot of deficit spending in this last budget, with all of that spending, we should be humming along, and we're not. But when people spend their money on the things that are important to them, then you do get the economic activity that is meaningful for an economy.
Yeah, because people, when they spend their money, they're savvy, they're smart shoppers, they buy things from the people who are the best producers, who can offer the best value, the best price, the best product. That's not what government does. I mean, I know on this show today they're looking at our UHIP computer system. It's a $350 million computer system. You think the private sector ever would have paid $350 million for a computer system like that?
No way.
No,
And
there'd be a
now it's-
lawsuit going on right now between the private person and the contractor if the contractor handed them a bill for $350 million.
And it is delayed again, and
Until
it's going to
December.
cost even more.
No, sorry, it's the DMV computer system is delayed again until September. The
No,
UHIP system.
I thought UHIP was.
Oh, they're both delayed, but I read this morning that the DMV system has now been moved back from September to December.
Oh, you're kidding. Yeah, there would be a lawsuit in private industry, first of all, it wouldn't have
What
happened.
would have happened?
But we tolerate it, and the government will just pour more money into it, makes the contractors happy.
So to circle back, the velocity of money, when government spends money, it does not reward people who are the best producers.
The efficient use of capital.
Yes, it's the inefficient
Right.
use of capital, and actually capitalism is based on the efficient use of capital. It presumes that capital goes to where there is the best value. It rewards those who can create that value. Government does not reward those who can create value and efficiency.
No,
It subsidizes inefficiency and malinvestment.
a lot of waste.
A lot of ways.
A lot of waste.
A lot of ways.
Which we have studied, and we try to make them to address. And so let's talk a little bit about some things that were in the budget that we fought to take out. The 38 Studios payment.
Yes. There were two 38 Studios amendments. One was yours to require a special prosecutor to investigate it.
And I used money from the Convention Center Authority, $750,000 from there. You know, the Convention Center Authority is asking for an extra $2 million this year, more than they did last time. So their budget continues to grow, and I don't see anybody from the administration putting pressure on them to clean up their act. They should be making more profit and holding down their spending, their overhead, and they're just not doing it. So it's $27.5 million that the taxpayers are giving to the Convention Center Authority this year, up from 25.
I think it's safe to assume that if a private business person owned the convention center, it wouldn't be losing $27 million a year.
I don't think so. I would hope not, at any rate. Not a very good businessman.
That can only exist in government.
That can only exist in government. But so we took that wasteful spending and repurposed it to have an investigation of 38 studios. And I've been putting this in now for 5 years. I seriously believe that people deserve the answers there.
They do. And so you have to look at what's going on now. The argument against us that was used on the floor was that there's currently the criminal investigation and there's currently the civil investigation. The criminal investigation, the statute of limitations on many fraud and crimes that would be related to this are expiring now, 6 years after the vote. And the civil investigation, I know the attorney's a good attorney, but they haven't even deposed Kurt Schilling yet.
Yeah,
So-
it's crawling along like they don't want to get the answers.
Kurt Schilling is the first person you depose in that case. So I have very big concerns about where that civil case is going if they haven't even deposed the lead person with evidence,
Yeah.
the lead player.
You know, on that sobering note, we're going to take a break and we're going to come right back.